Hi guys, it's Jamie here. Today we're going to play with just one of the Gelli prints we made the other day to create more of a background that we can use for ephemera for the mermaid journal. I have on my slightly crowded desk the fish fin stencil, the tiny one, and also various ink stamps in blue and also white. Therefore, the first thing I'm experimenting with is whether I can get any of these ink stamps to create a pattern on this Gelli print paper. Using the paler colours didn't prove to be that effective, although I do like using those soft brushes for stenciling. I feel I got better results with the darker blue, and therefore I use that colour twice. As a lot of my tutorials are about encouraging you to play, this section here is me playing with these shapes, using gold pens, normal colour markers to see what looks best. Remember, only paper, and if something doesn't work or you don't like it, you move on and you do it a different way next time. I have quite a collection of ink stamps that are more ephemera style ones from AliExpress and Temu. I have found in the past black ink works the best on this type of process, but you could try a very dark blue if you have it. I'm not very keen on the gold scales. They kind of pop too much when they've been stamped over, but this is all about learning what you do and don't like. Now I'm just finding smaller ink stamps to fill in the gaps, for example, script, ticket style, columns of numbers, the Tim Holtz looking ink stamps, I suppose you would call it. I've grabbed one of my Timeless Treasure aged papers that was in a previous video about a month ago, and I've whited down the inner part of it with some white gesso, and now that's dry, I'm just adding some blue ink over the top to see if this would also work with a mermaid theme. I'm repeating the process I did with the Gelli print paper, adding different types of stamp across everything. And here is how this one looks. I think because I'm going to do a very mix and match journal that has aspects of mermaid to it. Therefore, while looking at this paper, I decide to add just a couple of areas of stencil, and then I have a choice when I come to cut things up. As you know, the Gelli prints were done on very thin copy paper. Some of these are going to be cut like pieces of ephemera, so they can just be added as page decorations or to clusters. Therefore, I'm treating them a bit like ephemera printables and cutting round them and making small little pieces that I can use throughout the journal. I've also cut some longer strips so I can make them into tickets by folding them in half to get the halfway point and using my circle punch to get those ticket shapes into this piece of ephemera. Rather than use vintage photo to edge the ephemera that I've made, I'm actually going to use quite a dark blue ink and see how that looks. I love this effect. I like the darkness fading to the slightly paler blue inside the tickets. I think it's really effective. I couldn't find my plastic card with the cutout corners, so I quickly made one with a spare piece of cardstock, which is my template for cutting tag shapes. The items I've made into pockets, tags and journal cards, I feel like I need to add a little bit of collage to make them a bit more wow factor. Not wishing to waste anything, I do have some black and white stickers left over from my planner, so I'm using those. I did discover that they're not quite sticky enough and I needed to add some extra glue to them. With the ones that were backed onto cardboard and using the Timeless Treasure papers originally, I've decided that I want to protect them a bit more. Therefore, I'm adding a matte varnish and letting that dry. Off camera, I did do some additional work on the back of ephemera that will be seen, for example, journal cards and some of the small ticket ephemera. By adding a stencil in the blue patina distress ink or salvage patina distress ink. Just another little detail to make it all a bit more fun for the person who receives this journal. We will be using another one of the Gelli prints in a future tutorial, and I will catch you very, very soon.